Your emails aren't getting ignored, they're getting deleted. Most people think cold emails fail because people are busy. That's not the real reason. The truth is that the first 5 seconds decide everything. If the reader doesn't immediately see why the message matters to them, the brain treats it as noise and removes it instantly. The goal of your opening line is simple. Make the reader feel that this email is about them, not about you. Most cold emails sound like brochures. Many people treat cold emails like company presentations. They start listing services, achievements, and long descriptions of what they do. But nobody wakes up in the morning hoping to read a brochure in their inbox. The most effective emails feel like conversations, not advertisements. Focus on starting a dialogue, not delivering a pitch. People don't ignore emails, they ignore irrelevance. The human brain filters hundreds of messages every day. If your message doesn't immediately connect to a real problem the reader cares about, it gets ignored automatically. This is why relevance is the most powerful tool in communication. Before writing any email, ask yourself one question. Why should this specific person care about this message right now? Cold emails fail because they talk about you. Most emails begin with something like, "Let me introduce our company." The problem is that the reader has no reason to care yet. Attention is earned by showing understanding first. Start with their situation, their challenges, or their goals. When people feel understood, they naturally become curious about the solution you offer. The solution is surprisingly simple. 7 sentences. Effective communication is rarely about writing more. It's about writing with precision. A strong cold email removes unnecessary words and focuses only on what matters. When your message becomes shorter and clearer, the chances of getting a response increase dramatically. The 7-sentence cold email framework forces clarity. Every sentence must serve a specific purpose. One sentence introduces relevance, another shows understanding, another provides proof, and another invites a response. When each line has a clear job, the email becomes easier to read and easier to respond to. Start with one clear problem. Your message should focus on one challenge the reader likely faces. Not 5 ideas, not multiple offers, just one problem that instantly feels familiar. When someone reads a sentence and thinks, "Yes, that's exactly what I deal with," you immediately capture attention. One problem, not 5. Trying to mention too many things weakens your message. Instead of clarity, the reader experiences confusion. Strong communication is always specific and focused. One precise problem feels more credible than a list of generic claims. Add one proof point. People trust evidence more than promises. A single proof point can transform the entire message. This might be a measurable result, a short case example, or a clear improvement someone achieved using your approach. Even one credible result increases trust significantly. Proof builds trust. Trust is the foundation of every business conversation. Without proof, your email sounds like marketing language. With proof, it feels like a real opportunity worth exploring. The moment a reader believes your claim might actually be true, they become much more open to continuing the conversation. Write a strong subject line. The subject line is the gatekeeper of your email. If it fails, nothing inside the message will ever be seen. The best subject lines feel natural, simple, and relevant. Instead of sounding like marketing, they should feel like the beginning of a real conversation. Subject lines decide everything. People scan their inbox in seconds. Your subject line competes with dozens of other messages. A short, clear line that hints at value or curiosity will always outperform long promotional phrases. Think of it as the headline that earns attention. Start with relevance. The first sentence should immediately show the reader that the email is not random. Mention something specific about their company, their industry, or something they recently did. This small detail signals that the message was written intentionally and not sent blindly to hundreds of people. Show them you understand. When people feel understood, they become more open to listening. Instead of pushing a solution immediately, demonstrate that you recognize a real challenge they might face. This builds psychological connection and positions you as someone who understands their world. Give one-line proof. After showing relevance, include a short line that proves your credibility. This could be a result you achieved, a client you worked with, or a measurable improvement you created. Keep it short and direct, because strong proof rarely needs long explanations. Short beats long. Long emails create friction because they require effort to read. Short emails create curiosity because they respect the reader's time. When the message is clear and concise, people are much more likely to continue the conversation. Use a micro CTA. Instead of asking for a big commitment, like a meeting immediately, ask a small and easy question. For example, something simple like, "Would this be useful to explore?" Small requests reduce pressure and make responding feel natural. Make replying easy. The easier it is for someone to respond, the higher your reply rate will be. Questions that can be answered with yes, no, or a short sentence work best. Removing friction from the reply process dramatically increases engagement. Plan the follow-up. Many people give up after sending one email. In reality, the majority of replies happen after the second or third message. A polite follow-up simply reminds the reader about the conversation and shows professional persistence. Most replies come later. People are busy, distracted, and often planning to respond later. A respectful follow-up brings the message back to their attention. Consistent but polite communication often makes the difference between silence and opportunity. 7 sentences, nothing more. The purpose of this framework is simplicity. When your email has a clear structure and only the necessary information, it becomes easier to read and easier to understand. Simplicity is one of the most underrated advantages in business communication. Time to send. At some point you have to stop editing and take action. Many people delay sending messages because they want them to be perfect. In reality, progress comes from testing, learning, and improving with each message you send. Send. Every email is an experiment. Some messages will work better than others, and that is completely normal. The important thing is to observe what gets responses, and gradually refine your approach. Now we wait. After sending the email, patience becomes important. Not every reply arrives instantly. Give people time to read, think, and respond when their schedule allows it. New reply. When your message resonates with the right person, responses begin to appear. That is the moment when a simple email turns into a real conversation. And conversations are where opportunities begin. Then another. Momentum starts to build when your communication strategy works. One response leads to another, and over time, the system begins to produce consistent results. Good outreach is not luck. It is a repeatable process. It works. Clear communication has incredible power. A well-written message can open doors, start partnerships, and create opportunities that did not exist before. Words, when used correctly, become a powerful business tool. Meetings booked. When the message is relevant, respectful, and useful, people are willing to talk. Conversations turn into meetings, meetings turn into collaborations, and collaborations turn into growth. Cold emails don't fail, bad emails do. The problem is rarely the channel itself. The real issue is usually unclear communication or lack of relevance. When the strategy improves, the results improve as well. Write smarter emails. Get more replies. If you want to learn more practical strategies about communication, psychology, and building systems that create real business opportunities, stay connected. Follow the channel. Subscribe for more. SIVRA. Make it click. Make it run.